Why? Smart people stay stuck. Some of the smartest people in the world never achieve anything extraordinary. Not because they lack talent, not because they lack potential, and not because they are lazy. In fact, many of them are the exact opposite. They are curious, thoughtful, analytical. They spend hours learning, researching, and trying to understand the world. Yet somehow, years go by and very little changes. Meanwhile, other people seem to move forward. They start businesses, build careers, learn new skills, get stronger, create opportunities. And often, they do it with less knowledge and less talent. Why? Because intelligence alone is not enough. Sometimes intelligence becomes the very thing holding people back. Most people believe success is a knowledge problem. They believe that if they just learn a little more, read a few more books, watch a few more videos, or gather a little more information, everything will finally make sense. Then they will start. Then they will take action. Then they will change their lives. But that moment rarely comes, because the problem is not a lack of information. The problem is the belief that more information will solve everything. Smart people are very good at seeing possibilities, but they are also very good at seeing risks. They can imagine every mistake before it happens, every obstacle before it appears, every reason something might fail. At first, this seems like a strength, and sometimes it is. But when every decision turns into an endless debate inside your own mind, progress disappears. This is where intelligence becomes a trap. A smart person can justify almost anything. They can justify waiting. They can justify procrastination. They can justify avoiding risk. They can explain exactly why now is not the right time. And because the explanation sounds intelligent, it becomes believable. That is the dangerous part. The smarter the explanation, the easier it becomes to stay exactly where you are. Many intelligent people become trapped by understanding. They understand why they are unhappy. They understand why they keep delaying things. They understand why they are stuck. But understanding a problem is not the same as solving it. Knowledge without action becomes entertainment, and modern life makes this problem worse. Today, people consume information all day long. Podcasts, books, videos, courses, articles, motivational content, productivity content, business content, psychology content. They know more than any generation before them, yet many feel more stuck than ever because information has become a substitute for experience. It feels productive. It feels useful. It feels like progress. But often it is just another way to avoid action. One of the most common examples of this is something called analysis paralysis. The more options people see, the harder it becomes to choose. Imagine someone who wants to start a YouTube channel. They spend weeks researching cameras, then microphones, then editing software, then thumbnails, then algorithms, then audience, retention, then content strategy, then monetization. Months pass. Nothing gets uploaded. Meanwhile, another person records a simple video on their phone and posts it the same day. The video is not perfect. The audio is not perfect. The editing is not perfect. The thumbnail is not perfect. But it exists. 1 year later, the second person has a channel. The first person has a folder full of plans. This pattern repeats everywhere. People research businesses instead of starting them, research diets instead of following them, research workout programs instead of training, research confidence instead of building it. Preparation becomes a replacement for action. And because preparation feels productive, people rarely notice what is happening. The uncomfortable truth is that preparation has diminishing returns. The first hour of research can be valuable. The 10th hour might still help. The 100th hour often changes nothing. At some point, more information stops helping. At some point, action becomes the missing ingredient. Many people are not lacking information. They are drowning in it. They know what to do. They simply do not do it. And behind all this overthinking, there is often something deeper. Fear. Fear of failure. Fear of embarrassment. Fear of looking inexperienced. Fear of making mistakes. This is where perfectionism enters the story. Most people think perfectionism is a sign of high standards, but perfectionism is often fear wearing a better disguise. It sounds responsible. It sounds intelligent. It sounds ambitious. But underneath all of that is a simple idea. If I never start, I never fail. The perfectionist waits for the perfect opportunity, the perfect conditions,